Hi students, good afternoon to you all. In the last video session we have seen about Ulysses poem, some stanzas up to the line 32. The remaining up to 70 and today we are going to see. And again I recall where we have left the last day. The hero, that is Ulysses, the king of Ithaca, was in great interest to search the newer world, so started that adventures. Then in the middle he says about his ruling, how he is going to hand over to his son. Then the clarion call for travel, the third one. And this is how yesterday I told you. And the singing star hero, here we left. There he says that compares his death and as well as that time evening. They are all aged and going to die some short periods. And from today, and these stanzas will be concentrated. This is my son, mine own Telemachus, his son. That is Ulysses' son, the king's son, Telemachus, to whom I leave the scepter and the Isle. Isle is country, small island country, and power, the crown is going to be given to him. Well loved of me, designing to fulfill. Well loved of me means for him he was very loyal and he loved him very much. And whatever be the order told by the king, he will continue. Here the discerning, showing great judgment. Which one is right and which one is wrong. That means differentiating the things very clear. Whatever be the problem, he has that much of knowledge. This labor by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people. Up to this we stop. You see that he made his son, he had given him a good education, how to judge the people, and then that labor, slow prudence. Prudence means cautiousness, cautiously to make that is make mild a rugged people. Here rugged people means the people those who are very stubborn and rough, and he is going to make mild and through soft degrees, step by step he is going to make mild, subdue them to the useful and the good. He is going to make in the mild way, that is not dejecting at all, making those subjects very good, and them to the useful. They are going to be used for their nation in a right way, not doing any wrong things in his country, and he is going to make them good. And you see in this stanza he says about his son, how he has given a good education and how he is whether the right person, how strong in, how slow in his judgment, how he is going to make rough people into mild. So he is the right person to rule my country, that is why I chose him. He says in this stanza by introducing. Then in the next stanza, most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, designed not to fail, in offices of tenderness and pay, meet adoration to my household gods. When I am gone, he works his work, I mine. In this stanza, he will be very straightforward, blameless. No one can blame him. That is he refers Telemachus, and centered in this sphere. He never go either wrong side or the any lenient of anybody else, either known or unknown. He will be right sphere and centered of common duties. Whatever be that any judgment want to be given, that duty will be performed very rightly, decent, not to fail. He is not going to fail in that. He will give right judgment in offices of tenderness. Tenderness is the meaning gentleness, and gently and pay meet adoration. Adoration, care and devotion. While giving judgment, these all are very necessary to my household gods. He is going to give respect to the people of his country and as well as the gods of their nation, the both household gods, when I am gone, that means the king Ulysses is going out of the country, and that time he look after his country in very nice and perfect way. He works his work, whatever be the work given, my son the Telemachus will work for his work, not for saying, really he will work for his work. He said, I am aged, I am going to continue my travel. That is, he already told his voyage, he is going to continue his voyage. So, in this stanza gives the support to the first stanza. Here, these two stanzas concentrates about his son, that is king's son Telemachus, how perfect to rule his nation. And this part is called handing over the power to his son. Then we will move to the next part. Next part is a clarion call for all his fellow mates and age mates and peers to join in his voyage, and together with them he is going to start his voyage, that is his journey. There lies the port, the vessel's puffs are sailed. You see, there is port and there are ships are ready to sail. Here the puffs mean rushing. They all came there and it is perfectly arranged to start traveling journey. There gloom the dark, there he comes time. Now it is evening time, broad seas seems to them dark. My mariner souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me. You see here, they are mariners. Mariners means the fellow mates, those who are going to accompany with the king in the travelling, their souls that have toiled, worked very hard and wrought, beaten to the shape. They were brought to his king's shape and thought with me, like me, they are all going to come with me to join in this travelling party, that ever with a frolic, they never stop their sporting, their frisk never stop, welcome to. They welcome every thing, that is the thunder and the sunshine, either the sorrowful event or the joyful event, may take meaning like that. The thunder and the sunshine, and opposed, they faced all this in their life. Free arts, how is their art? Very free, no any burden or no any further work to do, free forays, their brain too. You and I are old. Now he comes to talk about his age. They became old, both his fellow mates, the spears, and the king Ulysses. They were old. The old age, ath means have or has. Here the has meaning. It is archaic word, used in old English, but now we may use depending upon the place has, had or have. Then here in present tense has some places written like this, so we may take old age singular as. The old age has yet his honor and his style. The old age people are respected, for that they cannot stop their work just by sitting, because and also they have his style. Style means responsibility. What are the responsibility the aged people should do, and that should be done by us. Here the responsibility is they want to find newer old. They don't want to stop. As I became old, I want to sit near a fireplace with the aged wives and spend the time idly, that is lazily. The king is very interested to find the newer old. So, in this stanza up to this, the poet says about their travelling and their fellow mates characters and how they met in their life, sorrowful events and joyful events, how they faced and how are their heart, whether free or burdened. And next he talks philosophically their age and also their work and responsibility. You don't say we are all aged, it is the age for taking rest. According to that age, what are the work can be done should be done. That is here his style responsibility. Then we shall go to the next stanza. Death close all, but something here the end. Here means before. It is also archaic word used in ancient time, but it extended from English now. We use instead of this before. Death close all, and one day all will die and none will live all along the year with this mortal, but we may live with the immortal by doing good to the world. So, death close all, but something here the end, and before the end there are something we should do, some work of noble note. According to the age, what can be done, that noble note should be done, may to be done, that should be done, that should be finished. Not unbecoming men. Here he says, not unbecoming means inappropriate. So, we are not inappropriate man, that means we are appropriate men that strove with gods. We should attempt to reach God by doing good. That is heaven. The people say heaven. So, by doing good we should reach God. The lights begin to twinkle. Again he talks now the time like here. In the beginning what he told, the lights begin to twinkle, that means the light sun is going to set, twinkle from the rocks by reflecting on the rocks. The long day wanes. The long day may be that particular day when he was talking, or his whole life, all the age, all the years had gone, wanes, that is disappears. The slow moon climbs. Now, so after the sunset, the moon climbs and gives us light, like our slow work starts, that is age, young age and the middle age is compared to, by the poet, light began to twinkle, compares to his old age, whereas the bright light is compared to his youth. Now, the moon climbs, the twinkle from the rocks, the long day wanes, the slow moon climbs the deep. The deep means ocean. From the ocean, and the moon comes up, and here a scientific point must be told. In ancient time, when the poem was written, the people have not proved that the earth is spherical in shape. The Greek people thought that it was flat, and around the plot there were a lot of water. The people thought so. Because scientific inventions were less in those period when the poem is written. You know, the poet's period is in the early part of the 19th century, that is 1809 to 1892, when maximum of the science inventions were not invented. So, he says, moon climbs the deep, moon around with many voices. I feel now, and around a dead body, many people are weeping and something saying about his past and present. I feel so. The moon is nothing but giving the last respect or words to the death. Around with the many voices, come my friends, we don't want to stop on this year. Come all, we should go and board into the ship and we start our travel. In this stanza, the poet says about the death in the beginning, that will close everybody, and also at the end he says about the morning, the many voices are heard, the death songs, the morning songs are around the dead body. Come friends, we will start our journey. He says so with explanations and what he want to do before his death. The next stanza, it is not too late. T is means the first B is there, the meaning I is hiding. So, it is not too late to seek a newer world. The Ulysses king says, we are not late. He says, we are not late to seek means search a newer world, something new world on this year. It is not late. Push up and sitting well in order to smite. Sitting on the ship, they want to push up, they want to row the ship. In ancient time there were no engines, so that they want to go along the directions of the wind in the water. The sounding furrows for my purpose worlds. The purpose worlds is reaching newer world. The furrows is nothing but deep made by ships in the water is called the furrows for my purpose worlds. To sail beyond the sunset and the boss. Here says sunsets, means the last direction, that is western direction, and the baths may be referred some gulfs and water bodies there of all western stars are singing in that is why he says bath. Until I die, I must travel along on the water by sitting on the seat, he says in it, of all western stars until I die. It may be that gulfs will wash us down. The gulfs catches and they are all water bodies near the shore, and there if they go, they may wash them. It may be we shall touch the happy isles when reaching some isles islands, and here we say the happy isles means the paradise, the people say heaven. After we die, if our doing on this earth is good, we will reach heaven, otherwise we will go hell. This is a myth and there is no any scientific proof for that, but however the poet had a high mythology, a Christian poet had a belief about heaven and hell, and here he say we shall touch the happy isles. We touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. The Achilles, the great warriors of the Greek. The great warriors of the Greek, after performing their duty punctually on the country Greek, they died and they may be taking rest there in the heaven, that is happy isles. If we reach, we could see them. In this stanza he says, after starting their journey for seeking never world and how it should go the ship, he says, then to sail beyond the sunset they may reach some seashore. The seashore may be happy isles, that is heaven, and there in the heaven they could see their great Greek warriors, that is Achilles. That he says in this stanza. Then the last stanza, in the concluding stanza, the poet come to sum up and say some important information in this. Though, the apostrophe means, the meaning is though. Though much is taken, though much abides and though. And we have done lot in our life and much abides and obeyed or remains. Something remains. Meaning he takes, and some works have been done and some works have been remaining. And though we are not to know that strength which in old days, and now he compares his strength, body strength, when they were young, they were more stronger, now they are weak, because which in old days moved earth and heaven. You see here, this was when they were young, they moved earth to the heaven and the heaven to the earth, they changed the place. You see exaggeration. This is called in poem like this, a poetical device is used, exaggeration. We could not replace heaven and earth, but the poet writes by using such a word. If you use such a usage in a poem line is called hyperbole or exaggeration. The poet used here hyperbole, and when we were very young and even we have strength to rechange the places of earth and heaven, that which we are and we are. He gives strength and repetition to the word we are, we are. Here other figure of speech used in this line is repetition, we are and we are. One equal temper of heroic arts. He says about that art of Greek people, how heroic they are and how they performed their duties in their young age, made weak by time. Now at the olden age, our strength and all reduced, we are now weak. And fate, this is the fate of human being, they given birth on this earth as a baby and living in the middle age with more strength and dying at the end too like a child, but strong in will. While dying too, their willpower is not reduced. Of course, physically he is weak or their fellow mates are weak, but mentally their willpower is not left to strive, to attempt What for they are attempting? To seek, searching a newer, to find and not to yield. And finally, he closes the word not to yield. Not to yield means they never surrender, they never give up their duty. The word gives energy to the reader, whoever may be, either the young or the old. Such a word is used by Alfred Lord Tennyson in the later part of the 19th century is great surprise. In his concluding line, he concluded everything what he told, how he began his travel and ended. They never give up, though their age is more than 70 and 80. In this stanza, he says, there are lot of work they have done, the remains are also there, but when they are young age, they had more strength, but in their old age, very weak, the strengths are not comparing with the young more, but once they moved earth and heaven, and these are their heroic deeds they have done, but time and fate made them weak. But however the time is made them weak, they never surrender, they never give up to their work. Continue, my friends, my companions, we set our travel and towards to the unknowing lands. The adventurous traveling, that is thirst for adventure, and next is handing over the post to his beloved son Telemachus, and the last part is clarion call for all his fellow mates. And there were three divisions in this, what we have seen. And the first, in the beginning, in the previous part we have seen the first thirst of adventure. In that adventure, he went to a country called Troy, and there a war called Trojan. In that Trojan war, they fought some long years. After the fighting was over and conquering the land, they came to their land, that is Ithaca. And after coming here, he should not want to spend just by sitting near the fireplaces with a group of aged people, and he wanted to find some newer land and start his travel again. After elaborately talking about it, he goes to the second part, and how his son is brilliant. The brilliant son can take a correct judgment, and the people, those who are there in the country, hearing him will accept all the judgment given by him, because he is most straightforward. Then he enters in the third, a clarion call. In that clarion call, he calls his fellow mate to travel and find the newer land. And finally, he talks, though they were aged and all the energies had gone, which had once they moved earth and heaven and replaced them, but they were now less energy and weak body, but they never give up their work. And this is how he closes his poem. And now we are going to see some of the short questions, appreciation, ERC, and the paragraph, how you want to base in the examination style. See, the first question, Ulysses is not happy to perform his duties as a king. Why? You know the reason. He is becoming aged, so he did not want to continue his post as a king. That is the reason actually. But what reason he says? He wanted to search a newer land. He is interested in adventurous traveling. That is why he is not happy to perform his duties. I explain for that why. In second question, what does he think of the people of his kingdom? He thinks about his people. That is, those people are just eating and sleeping, doing some work. They do not have any target to achieve. This is that he is thinking about his people, his country people. What does Ulysses gained from his travel experience? In his travel experience, he met a different kind of climates, people and weather, and also the countries and their behaviors and characters. Who does the speaker address in the second part? In the second part, he addresses his son Telemachus. You write like that. Then, why did Ulysses want to hand over the kingdom to his son? He wanted to go and search some newer world. That is why he is the right person, his son is the right person, can rule good, that is why he gave that post. Next question, how would Telemachus transform the subjects? In a mild way, and those people are very rugged, but by saying step by step, stage after stage, he has the ability to correct them and bring them to the right order. Next question, what do thunder and sunshine refer to? Thunder is always for sorrow and sunshine is for glad and happy. So, it is sad and it is happy refer to. And what is meant by high days? And the words which are very new in the poem will be taken by the question setter, and they set question. This is a Isil, what we have seen already elaborately about it, where the great warriors are enjoying there after their death, the Greek warriors. That is a place Hades. Then we can say it as a heaven or paradise too. What do you mean by the words vexed and year? They are all the words archaic, but now it is not now in the use. Vexed means vex, and the past form is vexed, vexed. Then year means before. These two words are archaic, not now in use. Who is Ulysses? Ulysses is a king of Ithaca, that what already we have told. And like these type of questions can be asked in the examinations, and just for the example we have taken only 10. And next, appreciation part. By giving a poem lines, they ask some questions under that poem line, and in that we have taken example only 2. Rugged people and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and good. He says, what is the poetical device used here? The poetical device used here is metaphor. You see the metaphor, rugged. How the people are? The people are like rugged. The like is understood. If like or as is understood, it is called a metaphor. If it is written directly in the poem, it is called a simile. And the second line, you see, write the alliterated words in the second line. Alliterated words means repeated consonant sounding words. Them, the are given in the line. So, T, you may that another one too. Them, to, the are the words alliterated in the second line. We should write like that. Like questions like this may be given related poem line, and they may ask questions. And literary, that is poetical device like this, they may give direct or by understood. By if it is the simile, directly they will give like or as. If like or as is understood, we should metaphor. And repeated consonant sounding words are called alliterated words. Repeated vowel sounding words are called assonance, what we are seeing in this poem. And the next part is ERC. One line I have written, he works his work, I mine. He refers his son Telemachus, that is, who is going to look after his country now, and I mine, here the I refers the king Ulysses. And reference this line, because single line, I do not write these lines. This line is taken from the poem Ulysses, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. The idea we have given already in the previous poem too. Poem topic 1 mark, then the poetname carries another mark. Then goes explanation, the remaining mark. We want to write first reference. In that reference, this line is taken from the poem Ulysses, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Then go now context. What is the meaning of the line is the context. His son Telemachus works his work really, and the king Ulysses works his work, and he looks after his country, he goes travelling. That is the meaning. Then explanation, after handing over the power, the kings wrote this line, talked in this speech. After handing over, he is going to look after his country, that is his son, and he is going to plan his travel, which is ready towards a newer land. write explanation. And what is the comment? Comment also can be done. Write a word. According to this King Ulysses, don't want to take rest. That is. So, what can we write in the comment is, work until the body cooperate with you, either the small work or the big work. Then go to now paragraph. Taken like this type of title, give the appreciation of the poem Ulysses. The appreciation means from beginning to last you want to write. And as the part, I told 3 parts in the poem. The first one is that adventure, thirst of adventure, and second one is handing over the post to his son, and third one is Hilarion call to his fellow mates. That 3 paragraphs, small paragraph you can write, and before that you should write introduction. In that intro, and the poet name is year of birth, that is 1809, August 6, and he lived up to 1892, October 6. He lived 83 years, and he made great works in literary field next to the William Shakespeare there in England. He was a Victorian age poet, and he was poet laureate of England. That is his age of 41 to his age of 83 after death of William Wordsworth. You may write those or few important lines that should not exceed more than 3 or 4 lines. And the point what the first para concentrate the adventures, thirst of adventures. He opens his poem where he does not like to sit near the aged wife near a fireplace. There you want to open. Then you finish it, and before handing over the post to his son, how he says sinking star. That is, he compares his age, the star which is sinking in the water as per the belief of an ancient time. He is going to become old. Up to that you want to write within some 8 or 9 lines. Then you go to the middle part. The middle part is his son's work, Telemachus' works, how he judges the people, and judgment is made by the right way as he is educated, and he can discern the things which is right and which is wrong. Right up to that. So, the king Ulysses chose a right person to hand over the post. Then the call to his fellow mates, the ship is ready, and all the travelers, those who are willing to come with the King Ulysses, can board in, and they can search a newer land in the water, how the ship started, and the king says they may reach in their travel at the end to the heaven. Up to that you want to write. Indirectly he says their death is the heaven. After death only we will go heaven if we have done good to this earth. And up to that you want to write, and go to conclusion. In that conclusion he says, the poet from the beginning to end, that is first line from the last line, all the 70 lines are monologue. Monologue are the speech done by a single person and without any interference. It is a monologue of the King Greek Ulysses, a great king Ulysses, a great warrior Ulysses, and there in the conclusion you, after writing the monologue, and you say what is the point you come to stress, that is the theme, all the 3 period. What he says, you should not take a rest and don't spend time very leisurely or lazily. Work until we leave. After writing that, form a sentence, a rest. If you are rest, then we become rest. So, rest is rest. Right theme? So, and children, from the beginning we have seen the poem Ulysses, the title, and also the poet Albert Lord Tennyson, and before that odd words to discussed. Then poem stanza after stanza we have given meaning. At the end we have given the theme of the poem too. Then short questions, appreciation, and that poetical device, and explain with reference to the context also seen, and how should a paragraph should be written is also given you idea, and write it well by going through the poem line by line. Thank you children, we will meet in the next video.